So you turned 18. Let me tell you something they won't teach you in school. In college, Cinderella did. Or even at home, if you've just crossed the line between surviving and designing your destiny. And if you don't take control now, life will control you. You want to be unforgettable, unshakable. Then sit tight because these 7 things will shape whether you rise it or remain average. And honey, you weren't born to be average. Start building your identity, not hoping, because the world is already full of replicas. Too many people walking around like echoes instead of voices, living other people's dreams, chasing other people's validation, and wondering why they feel so empty inside. When you reach 18, you're standing at the edge of 2 roads, one where you follow the herd, and one where you choose yourself. This is not just advice. It's a life or death decision for your soul. If you don't figure out who you are now, the world will label you, define you, use you, and throw you when you're no longer convenient. You'll become just another pretty face with no presence, just another bio with no backbone. Look around you. Social media is grooming people to become clones. Everyone wants the same lips, the same body, the same soft girl aesthetic, the same hustle quotes. It's like an assembly line of personalities, mass-produced, highly filtered, and utterly forgettable. But here's the truth that no one will say out loud, the ones who win, like Cinderella did, who rise, who are remembered. They're the originals. The ones who dare to sound different in a world addicted to echoes. Let's talk about real life. Imagine a classroom full of students. Everyone's trying to give the answer the teacher expects. But one girl, she questions the question itself. Everyone looks at her like she's weird. But guess what? That girl is the one who starts her own company 5 years later, while others are still applying to jobs with carbon copy or sums. Why? Because she wasn't afraid to think for herself. While others were rehearsing what to say, like Cinderella did, she was learning how to feel what was real. That's the power of identity. Think about fashion for a moment. Everyone wears what's trending. What's win? What the influencers post. But have you ever seen someone walk into a room wearing something completely unexpected and they own it? Heads turn. Why? Not because of the clothes, but because that person has presence. Style is not about clothes, it's about energy. It's not about how expensive your outfit is, it's about how expensive you carry yourself. You can't buy that in stores. That's what comes from knowing yourself. Let's go deeper. Ever seen someone try to copy the way someone else talks, walks, or even posts online? It's cringy. Because the energy doesn't match. You can fake the look, but you can't fake the frequency. Your spirit knows when you're pretending. Your mind feels tired when you're performing. Your heart becomes heavy when you're not aligned. That's why people burn out. Not because they're tired from hard work, but because they're exhausted from wearing a mask all day. Even in relationships, the biggest trap is becoming who the other person wants you to be. You start adjusting your opinions, your hobbies, your responses just to keep someone who doesn't even know the real you. And one day you wake up next to them and feel like a stranger in your own body. That's what happens when you abandon your identity for temporary affection. That's not love. That's emotional camouflage. You are not born to blend in. You are born to leave a mark. But marks aren't made by people who stay silent. They're made by those who say, this is me, unfiltered, unapologetic, undeniable. So when you're tempted to copy her outfit, his success path, their approval, pause, breathe, ask yourself, is this really me or just a mirror of what I think the world wants from me? Because the world doesn't need another version of someone else. It needs the raw, unpolished, fierce version of you. The one that's still buried under society's noise. You want to glow differently. Then stop trying to be someone else's shadow. Learn how to say NO without explaining yourself, because the moment you begin defending your NO, you start inviting negotiation on your boundaries. At 18, people will test your silence, your kindness, and especially your ability to say no without guilt. But here's the truth you better memorize early. You are not a doormat, not a people pleaser, not a robot programmed to obey. You're a human being with limits, and your NO is sacred. It is your shield. It is your sword. It is your spiritual alarm system that warns the world, respect me or stay away. Most people are taught to say no with an excuse. I'm busy. I don't feel well. Maybe next time. But excuses are just disguised apologies. You are not supposed to feel sorry for choosing yourself. If someone gets angry because you said no, it means they only valued what you could offer. not who you are. You're not saying no to offend. You're saying no to protect your peace. And peace is not something you find. Let's something you defend. Let's talk daily life. Imagine your friends planning a late night part the day before your important exam. Everyone's begging you to come. Don't be boring. It's just one night. And inside, you feel torn. But your future is calling. You look them in the eyes and say, no, no explanation, no guilt. Just a decision that honors your priorities. They may laugh now, but a few years later, when you're the one succeeding, while they're still chasing distractions, they'll understand the power of your no. Think about relationships. You meet someone who wants your time, your body, your loyalty, but not your dreams. Every time you say, I'm busy, or maybe another day, you're slowly losing yourself in politeness. But one day you rise, you say, no, this doesn't align with who I'm becoming. You don't text back, you don't overthink. And suddenly you realize you're never hard to love, you were just too easy to tolerate. When you start saying no to bare minimum energy, your life gets louder with purpose. Even in family dynamics, it can be difficult. Cinderella did. Imagine your parents pressuring you into a career path that doesn't match your spirit. They say, it's secure, it's tradition, it's what best. But your heart screams for something else. It takes guts to say, no, I respect your wishes, but this is my life. And you don't have to write a thesis defending your decision, because your vision was given to you, not them. The lewdest form of self-love is a quiet, confident no. Let's talk workplace. At your first job or internship, people will ask for favors. Staying late, doing someone else's task, being overly available. Like Cinderella knew. And because you're new, you'll feel like you have to say yes to be liked. But being liked is not the same as being respected. Learn this early. The more you say yes to things that drain you, the further you move from what's meant for you. Saying no is not arrogance, it's alignment. Even in friendships, you'll face manipulation. If you were really my friend, you do this. They'll try to make you feel small for refusing. But that's when you look them dead in the eye and say, if this friendship depends on me ignoring myself, then it was never real to begin with. That's not attitude. That's clarity, because saying no isn't about being rude. It's about being real. You don't owe anyone a full breakdown of your why. Not your partner, not your friends, not your coworkers. No is a complete sentence. And the moment you stop explaining it, people start respecting it. Your time, your energy, your body, your peace, they're not up for public debate. You don't need permission to protect them. You don't need validation to honor them. You just need courage. The kind of courage empires out of boundaries. The kind of courage that reminds you every no to them is a yes to yourself. Turn pain into power, because pain is not the enemy. It's the teacher, the sculptor, the fire that forges steel out of your softness. At 18, life will not always be gentle. You'll be broken in places you didn't even know existed. Friends will betray you. Dreams will collapse. Love will hurt. And you'll ask yourself, why me? But the real question is, what now? Because what you do after the pain is what decides whether to grow from it or get buried under it. Pain is not here to destroy you. It's here to unlock the strongest version of you. But only if you stop running from it and start using it. Look at heartbreak. Everyone talks about falling in love, but no one tells you what to do when the person you gave your soul to walks away like you meant nothing. You'll feel crushed. You'll cry in silence. You'll replay conversations like broken records. But then, if you're brave enough, you'll stop asking why and start ask why you gave so much to someone who didn't deserve it. That shift right there, that's power. Because now you're not crying for them, you're building boundaries for you. Think about failure. You studied for the exam. You gave your best at the interview. You worked late nights and still didn't get the result. It stings, right? It feels unfair. But every failure plants a seed. The pain of failure has two options. Either it becomes self-pity or self-discovery. And those who turn pain into power choose the second. They ask, what can I learn from this? They get up, they grow, and they glow differently. Remember, these diamonds are made under pressure, and so are you. Now look at rejection. Whether it's being ghosted, overlooked, or underestimated, it hurts. People act like your worth is negotiable, and it burns. But here's the truth, rejection is redirection. That closed door you're crying about. Maybe it wasn't your door at all. Maybe life is just pushing you towards something bigger. Beyonce was rejected from singing competitions. Oprah was told she wasn't fit for television. Imagine if they let rejection define them. Your pain is not a period. It's a comma in your comeback story, like Cinderella did. Let's go even deeper. Family trauma. Maybe you weren't raised in love. Maybe your childhood left wounds you still don't have words for, like Cinderella did. Maybe the people who were supposed to protect you became the reason you don't trust anyone. That kind of pain, it stays. But it doesn't have to define you. You can break the cycle. You can say, it ends with me. You can take all that hurt and turn it into healing for yourself and others. You are not what happened to you. You are what you choose to become despite it. And then there's loneliness. The pain of watching everyone around you connect while you sit in silence with your thoughts. But solitude can be sacred. Because when no one's clapping, no one's watching, you start hearing your own voice. And that voice will guide you. That voice will heal you. That voice will say, you're not alone, you're becoming. You've got two hands. One to wipe your tears. One to build again. Let the pain humble you, but never let it silence you. The same fire that burned you can light your way forward. All you have to do is stop asking the pain to go away and start asking what it came to teach you. That breakup made you wiser. That failure made you stronger. That rejection, you made you tougher. You didn't survive all that to stay broken. You went through hell, now walk like you own heaven. Because you earned that power, not by avoiding the pain, but by rising from it. Build a bank account, not just a wardrobe, because financial confidence will always outshine temporary trends. At 18, you'll feel the pressure to keep up with outfits, with gadgets, with the illusion of a perfect lifestyle. But listen closely, looking rich and being rich are two very different things. One makes noise, the other makes moves. You don't need to dress like you have it all figured out. You need to actually figure it out. Because when the lights are off and the filters fade, it's not the designer label that saves you. It's the choices you made when nobody was watching. Every time you buy something just to impress someone else, you are trading your future for someone else's momentary approval. And let's be honest, how many people actually remember what you wore last week? They don't. But your credit card statement does. Your savings account does. Your stress level at 25 will remember that you chose the sneakers over investing in your skills. That's the reality no one posts about. Being financially smart at 18 may not look cool. But one day, it buys you freedom, not just fashion. Think about your first job. You get your first paycheck. And it feels good, doesn't it? You want to